And there we are, live on YouTube, Rev Wayne Stills. I'm turning this mic over to you, my friend. Oh, let me make you, let me give you the control of the room. There we go. All righty. And Rev Wayne Stills, this mic is all yours.
Okay. Hey, everyone. How you doing? I'm going to play a song and I shall return. Right back. Give me a couple of minutes to put the song on and I shall return.
2 minutes till it's midnight. We've been drinking since the sun went down. Everyone's been kissing, throwing love around. Somebody shouts, change is coming. You just smile and drink your beer. Everywhere the air's a humming. It's all of us right here. And we sing, should old acquaintance be forgot? I'll love you till the day I die. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Will you kiss me in the morning light? Time to run beneath the New Year moon, joining hands and crossing our hearts. Pass around the rest of the wine. It's a perfect start. Old flames and broken hearts and nights under the stars. One by one we fall asleep, wrapped in each other's arms. And we dream, should old acquaintance be forgot? I'll love you till the day I die. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Will you kiss me in the morning light? If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. If you were lonely, give it up, 'cause here we are. This is the kind of love that doesn't break your heart. Should all acquaintance be forgot? I'll love you till the day I die. Should all acquaintance be forgot? Will you kiss me in the morning light? For all
Wayne, you are muted. By the way, that was a great song. I don't know who was singing it.
Hey, Elise Emmerich.
Very
Elise,
nice.
I never know who she is. It was great. Yeah, it was a good rendition. I never heard the whole song before, so I never heard the whole song before. So how you doing, Lynn? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had my mic muted because I'm coughing.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a good tune. That's a good tune. So what's going on? How you doing? I missed yesterday. I thought I was gonna put it yesterday, but I missed it. It was funny. Yesterday was such an intense couple of days because what happened was that I realized I was doing yesterday. I knew last week I was going to do yesterday, and I was excited about it. And then when I realized it was 2, 3 days ago. I said to myself, "Oh, no, we're doing tomorrow." So I called them all day. I said, "Why don't we do this tomorrow?" Why don't we get together? So for 2, 3 days we were crazy, and then suddenly it was, and then suddenly we weren't ready. We were ready. We weren't ready. We were, and then suddenly I called her, and yeah, why don't we not do it? So it was up and down, up and down, up and down. And another thing I was bummed about was I love doing the holidays. You know what I mean? So uh,
Yeah. Well,
um,
and my family, they're all off and ready for, they want to go, they want to do fun things
oh,
together.
I know, no,
So I'm like, well, you know,
for me, I know me. You said that. I say no, sorry, I'm coming in.
oh yeah, no, it's like, it's they get real, they're coming at my door going, when are you going to be done? Are you going to be
Yeah.
done soon?
Well, that
You
happens to me
know,
all the time. My kids come in and they say, yeah.
mainly it's we're hungry. Are you going to come fix lunch?
Yeah,
But
exactly. My kids come in and just ask me questions. I don't care if I'm on the air or not.
yeah,
They just ask me questions. And especially if one of them hasn't been here in a while, she comes in, she'll ask me questions. Dad, come downstairs, please. That kind of thing. Sorry, no, that's okay. So today's lesson is lesson 2. It's a great lesson, isn't it?
absolutely. It's pretty amazing actually because there's been so many people now who are doing uh, the lessons online. There, see, I put us together in the firelight, by the fireplace here.
Oh,
But yeah, there's Amy and Linda Vizosky have started doing the daily lesson, and they're doing it on YouTube, and so we have it on our YouTube channel. And then Susan Michelle apparently is doing daily lessons, and
good.
I was really thinking about doing the daily lessons from Devin's book because they're so cute and so cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I have a quick question for Devin. Devin, didn't you not years, but I have a musical approach to having that funky musical thing going on with the lessons. If I'm not mistaken, was in that?
That is him.
Yeah, 'cause I have those. It's the craziest thing. I've been looking for certain uh, old recordings for a while, and I finally found an old iPod just yesterday, which every single one of my recordings were on. I don't know how to get them off the iPod, but they're on the iPod. And I saw yours just looking at those things yesterday. I said, "Oh, look, it's Rev Divine's the musical stuff," which I have 20 of them or something. And then you come in, and then there you are today. So it's kind of
That
the divine algorithm, I guess, is working overtime. You know, so.
that is pretty amazing, actually.
I know. I mean, I haven't
Uh,
seen it. I haven't seen it in years. I haven't seen it. I thought about that. I'd like to get it out of there. We'll have to, put it on and hear that again because it was a lot of fun. Those things. I remember it was lesson two. I remember that. It was a lot of
with
fun.
the techno kind
Yeah,
of
exactly,
singing. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it was.
yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember you used to play those on your program.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, but and I have it still. It's in my. I have an iPod, an old iPod from the 10 years. The ones you used to put into the hotel things that had those little ship, those slots you put it in, and you played it.
hmm
And I had no idea how to get the stuff off it.
I don't know, but I'm sure there's a way.
I hope so.
And wouldn't it be nice to have all those recordings?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I have all the reporting. I have every reporting we need. I have every reporting that we need. I just it's sitting right there in front of me, including episode 40. Everything. I have everything we need, but I can't. There's no cord that goes into the cord doesn't go into any computer.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
it does have a cord though. Does it have a
There's
cord?
a cord, but the thing it goes into it goes into the old those old shit those old slot things that in hotels where you put it into the slot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really wide. It's a wide thing. It's not a thing that goes into the port or anything like that.
Interesting. I'm sure there's somebody that's got technology to do
Yeah,
that.
they have to have some sort of adapter, I guess.
Yeah. So,
So anyhow, I'm looking forward to that. So anyhow, so should we read lesson two, or you want to? I'm thinking read lesson two quickly. Go through it just for because lesson two is pretty much the whole course. One, two, and three. I'd say, especially one and two. And not that it works out this way, but if you really can understand one and two, you understand the whole course, really. You know what I mean?
that's really interesting that you say that. Dove was just saying that, and I had been saying that. It's like, that we're all in accord with that idea. Lesson
Yeah,
one and lesson two, it really is the whole metaphysics of the course,
yeah,
which is the reality of the course. So yeah, yeah, definitely. Let me,
yeah. But if you think about it, it's like the whole thing is I mean, the whole course, you have this idea that this. I mean, I am doing everything I see. All the course starts out with top level, the most top level idea first. The very first thing is the highest level idea. Most spiritualities you would think would work up to this on sort of a gradient, and end up with this idea. Now you know that everything is it doesn't mean anything. Now you know that you're the creator of everything, and now you have the ability to do this. But it starts out with that. The first thing lesson you
right.
learn is that everything around you is meaningless, and then it tells you how to do it and how to generalize it.
Yep, yep. And but it does say that, the text of the course, I think in the introduction to the workbook, it says, the text of the course is the foundation
All
that
right.
this is taking off from. But, a lot of folks start out and Jesus says it doesn't really matter what order you do it in, but to really understand the course itself or the lessons, the foundation of the course is probably pretty necessary.
I
Um,
think I think
so
definitely. I mean, I read it in the order, but I tell people they can read it any way they want. Matter of fact, one of the better people who have trouble reading it, I'll tell them to go to the manual. It's a Q&A. And they have easy, it's on there very easy, and then they go into the workbook, and then they go, basically they do it backwards,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they find it easier, and they get through it. They get through it. They're starting out in the text. People I've noticed that they kind of they get 2 3 weeks and then they stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of happens. But
I mean that because they hate it. They have fumbling. They don't understand what was being talked about. And unless we talk a lot, and I sort of coach them or something like that. There's no, I'm not going to push anyone to do something they don't want to do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to impose or anything like that.
right.
So,
Well, yeah. Um, but it takes even, I mean, I've been studying this course since 2007, I think is when I picked it up. And so, it's been a few years that I've been studying the course, but really, now in the last, couple of years since we've started doing really deep dives into the course and into the different um, you know, parts of it. And right now we're starting on the we just finished the manual for teachers and we're starting on the clarification of terms and with a group of people and we go paragraph by paragraph and we pick it apart and we talk about all the different things that affect and all the different things that are meaningful and really really extend it out into our lives and look at our lives through the course. And since I've been doing that, I think I have gotten more, well, deeper and deeper understanding of the course. And of course, it's not the understanding of the course, it's the actual integration of it into your life. So,
It's experiencing everything, to experience the course, to realize what I realized, every once in a while I really experienced life as a dream. When I realized that I was really experiencing myself as one with everything. And not in a mystical way, really. I mean, sometimes it feels a little mystical, but really, it's just more or less I look around myself and I realize that everything sort of feels like it's almost like I'm living in a different universe than the Newtonian universe to such a large extent that every once in a while, if I feel it,
yes.
every once in a while, I sort of feel it. I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. I'm different because of the course.
Yes, I'm definitely different because of the
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I mean, I was thinking last night, in fact, yesterday for some reason, well, because I was contemplating um, looking at my life and looking at my past and uh I was about to make one of the same mistakes that I have made in the past and been regretful of later, and I stopped myself and I thought about it, and looked through my memory at all the times that I've done this very same thing, which really involves um making judgments on other people and then sharing those judgments with another group of people, like, talking about, how bad or how dumb or whatever, and then finding out, oh, that this other group of people are friends with these other people, and now everybody's mad at me because, I was judging. And so, I mean, that whole thing, I realized that I have for some reason, the ego personality of Lynn has this idea that I can make friends by pitting people against each other and siding with the favorite. And of course, that's a lot of people think that. But when I recognize that, and I've recognized it before and just said, well, that's the past. I'm not doing it now. But I realized that until I actually looked at what I was doing and why I was doing it, then I would continue to do it. I almost did it yesterday, and I just recognized, oh, geez, here I'm falling into the same pit. And so I started contemplating, you know, how I have been. And that really impacted me. I looked at the mechanism of the ego and how it worked, and recognized I didn't want to do that anymore, and recognized that I will continue to do it until I absolutely root out the idea that somehow or the other I can be more popular if other people are not. And I don't know if you understand what I'm saying there, but
Yeah. It's attack. You're in attack mode. And it's basically it's paranoia, it's attack, and someone can attack you, so you have to play. It's competition.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Not everyone can be winners in this world. It's not one win. Everyone is not enough. There's not enough win to go around. Let's put it that way. Not everyone can win. And the fact is, that it can be a win-win world if we play right, but we don't play fair. You just like you were
No, we
saying.
don't,
You
because we don't know or don't recognize the whole reason that we're doing it. And the reason I realized is because I um felt inferior, and felt like the only way that people could be friends with me is if they were enemies with somebody else.
then you can help them get through the problems. You're there for that person. It's kind of like when if you like somebody. It's like imagine you like if I like the girl I want to be with her and you cause fights between them so you can take sides. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
it's something like that.
Yeah, and then you can be the good guy.
Right, exactly. You can be
Yeah.
there for the person. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Meanwhile, you're the problem.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Absolutely, you got it. But that's how the ego works. The ego has patterns. And, when we recognize the pattern, then we can step back and watch. And when that pattern starts showing up, we can just stop it and say, geez, here I am doing the same thing again and expecting a different result. And it don't work that way.
Well, the ego is a block. It's sort of like it's a veil. It's the cloud that block the sun. I mean, it's exactly what I was reading the other day. It's an idol. It's a false impression, a false belief. It's here. This is the best. The world of the world, this world of idols is a veil across the face of Christ, because its purpose is to separate your brother from yourself. A dark and fearful purpose, yet a thought without the power to change one blade of grass. That's kind of cool. No matter what you do, you haven't hurt yourself or anyone else.
Right.
You said that actually. You said, I tell myself that it's in the past, and it's true. So it is true that it's in the past, and then you take the next step. But no matter what happens, it's a comfort to know that there are no real stakes here. You're gonna be fine if it doesn't work out fine. It's like when I said that about I was a camp counselor and I was a fellow world leader, and I said to everybody, uh, I hated the competition so much when I was younger. I hated the idea of suddenly being competitive. Suddenly everyone was like, "Ah, you have to win, you have to win, you have to win." So I said to everyone, "Look, no one gets to sit home if we lose. No one gets punished if we lose. It's just more fun to win. So let's go out there and try to win." And it was very laid back. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's similar to that. I mean, the veil that he's talking about here there's no stakes here. As long as we know there's no stakes, I told them, go and try to win. If you lose, you lose. You win, you win. It's more fun to win. And they won. They won every single time by like 1 point. But we picked the teams, and they were both very even. And every single game they won by about a point. But they were having a better time because they knew it didn't matter with them. It was they think what we talk about. We talk about the hula state. They didn't even they eat a little food, just
Yeah.
enough food, a little bit of food, just a little. And so when you were in your situation, so you say, I mean, you said it happens once in a while. So who cares? I mean, I care enough to actually change it, but not enough to actually feel guilty about it. Not that you do feel guilty about it, but there's probably a lot of people who feel guilty about that sort of thing.
Oh,
And that's
no,
that's
I
what that.
absolutely do feel guilty.
I do.
Well, yeah, once I recognize that, I'm doing it again or thinking about it or whatever, or I think about when I did it in the past and I feel guilty. And those are the things that you have to bring to the Holy Spirit and say, I know you don't blame me for this, but I do. So, help me to see, that I'm
Help
really
me laugh at
innocent.
it. Help me laugh at
Yeah, and help me to laugh at it. Exactly, Wayne.
it. Help me
Yeah.
laugh. If you can laugh at it, forget about it. If you can walk away cheerful, happy, enthusiastic, and laughing your butt off at one of your problems, then you're set. Because as I've always said, your mind is like a picture album, moving a video picture album, and you should be using it to judge people with or punish people with. And you should be using it or judge and punish yourself with. You should use it as a source of nostalgia, a source of amusement, and that's it. And if you can't do that, because a lot of them you've already used for sources of judgment, then find those places and keep looking at it and keep studying it and keep trying to find see the guilt and try to let it go, and then until you're laughing and do that until you see the album for what it is, because it's just a bunch of snapshots. And if you and a bunch of it's there to remind you of the love that you experienced while you were here. Nothing else. If you
Nothing
just,
else.
you know,
And what I have learned actually is to look at these things and look for where is the love in this.
yes.
And so obviously, if I was doing those kind of things, it was because I was looking for love. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel accepted. I wanted to not be, apart or cast out or whatever. And so it was really a loving reason that I was doing these things, but it was not a loving method. And when I began, then to see that it was just a call for love and how silly it is to call for love by bringing down hate. And, once I could see that, then I could laugh about it. But until I could see that, then, I just was feeling guilty and stressed out. So you gotta let the Holy Spirit reframe everything for you.
And then the way we frame it is just how easy it is to choose him, choose the Holy Spirit. I mean, the easiest part is to put him in charge. Because basically what you're doing is you're just basically making a choice. It's basically you're changing your mind about who he is. It's really what it is. The miracle is not that it's a miracle. I want make it, to get this job, or I want to heal this disease, and all the different miracles. I want to walk again. I mean, there are a lot of different things you can say. I want to change my point of view so I can get this miracle, or I want to get along with my wife better, or my husband better. You get all these miracles. Well, the real thing is this: I want to change my mind about what I think the Holy Spirit is teaching. I want to believe it. I want to ask the Holy Spirit to convince me that He's right and take charge of my life. That's it. That's the main thing. Because it says the answer to every problem that you have is what? Every problem that you have is that you are one with God. If you know that for sure, then you'd be cool. And so who says that? Who's telling us that? Jesus. So if you can change your mind about Jesus and what he's saying and ask him to convince you to know that what he's saying is true, you don't have to do anything. He'll take over and you do nothing. All you have to do is sit there and walk and let him lead the way. That's what you're asking him to do for you. And that's it. That's the miracle. Let him lead the way. If you can do that, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's everything.
Exactly.
I mean, that's all we're being asked to do. So,
Choose your teacher.
then that's why these lessons, yesterday's lesson, nothing I see here means anything. Look around you and say, that thing doesn't mean anything, and this thing doesn't mean anything. And then today's lesson, look around and say, I have given everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. And really, then you begin to actually see that, yep, I gave this computer a meaning, I gave that picture on the wall a meaning. I gave this robe I'm wearing a meaning. When you start seeing the meanings that you have given to everything that you see, then you see how artificial it is. Because probably hundreds or thousands of people have this same robe, and they have their own meaning to it.
Exactly. What I'm asking, or you're right, I tell people when you put your clothes on stage, you have to make it meaningful to yourself. Otherwise, you just wear a costume, and people will see you wearing a costume as opposed to your clothing. So put your jacket on, and I'm going to ask you a question. I said, who gave you that jacket? I don't know. Well, just choose something. Was it your grandmother before she died? Or was it your father when he was angry? Was you paid for it yourself and you had no money? What's the story behind that jacket? And what's the story behind those pants? That leather jacket over there. What did you get the last thing you had before you became vegetarian? I mean, what's the story? And then you give everything your own meaning. And it's simple. We do that automatically in life. We give everything the value that it has. We value different things. We value this more than this. We value that more than that. And and duplicate that. We did that on stage as well. It's kind of cool.
Wow, that's a really great technique
Mhm.
for immersing people into their role. And
Right.
so, I mean, that's how we got immersed into this role, is by
Exactly.
the meanings that was given to everything that we gave. Oh, here's mama. She's, giving me milk. Here's dada. He's gonna, play with me or ignore me or whatever. And we're the ones, we give it meaning from the very beginning. Because when a baby is first born, they don't know anything.
Right.
We don't know anything. We don't know what anything is or what it's for. And we have to be taught or we have to learn. And sometimes we learn correctly and sometimes we learn incorrectly. So, we live with the consequences or we change the meaning.
Exactly.
Um, And I know people who have done that with their families, especially where, I grew up thinking, my dad was a real awful person and a jerk, and I had all sorts of terrible thoughts about him. And then later in my life, I, saw different things and realized that, he was driven by things that he didn't really have control over. And excuse me, I have this terrible cough. But that what he was doing was a form of love that didn't really seem like love to me at the time, and it wouldn't seem like love to me if I saw him doing it to somebody else either. So, but I did recognize that it was, love or a call for love, all of it. So, now I see it through a different lens, and I can forgive not only him, all the things that he did, but the whole life that I lived with him. I could actually see, I could really feel the goodness of all the things that, before I thought were not so good. So, it's just, we can change the meanings that we've given to everything. And, if we can change them to see that it's just love or a call for love, then you're going to see something entirely different in your life and you'll have a different experience.
That's the whole idea. That's one of the reasons why Jesus channeled the horse to us is to make corrections of words and story in the Bible, to make corrections, to reinterpret things for us, and to give us the power to do it. I mean, the Holy Spirit's got one way of looking at things, and the ego's got another way of looking at things. And you have to choose one. I mean, you either become a tool of extension for the Holy Spirit and become one of His greatest tools, probably His greatest tool in this world, or you become the greatest weapon for the ego. And you can choose you choose your teacher, you choose your fighters, as the song goes. As you said, that we can reinterpret everything in light of in one way or another. If you choose the ego, you choose vulnerability, so you have to protect yourself, you have to hide, you have to make sure they don't hurt you. You let just the one person, which is fine. I'm married with one person, but the idea is to latch on to one person and protect yourself from that one person, hide that one person, and make sure no one can get you. And to a lesser or greater extent, we all do that. But we all think we're born living and going to die. And we kind of you can't help but think that. And so we play out that entire game of the ego. But the Holy Spirit is got different things. Like, you don't have to play that game at all. We'll start where you are. We'll start with that game of the ego, but slowly but surely, baby steps that get you out of that game and move you up in a higher consciousness, which is pretty cool. I mean, part of me wants to come back here, and make different choices. People that got away. Well, I want to make choices. Well, what happens if I made the choice to be with that person, if be friends with that person as opposed to that person? I want to find out. But then I said, wait a minute. If I go to a higher consciousness, there'd be much more bliss there than there ever was here. I have that faith in that. I mean, Jesus wouldn't say to me, "Yeah, go back." That's a good idea. Make other choices. I mean, I can do that if I want to. I mean, we're all cool. I mean, eventually, but we're all coming in eventually, the easy way or the hard way.
That's right. We have a choice.
Exactly.
So, and I think what the courses are, it seems like the hard way when we were looking at the course, like, how can I forgive the world? How can I put down my life? How can I, give up, my connections or my special relationships or, how. how can I do? In fact, the first few years I was doing the course, it never actually occurred to me that I could do those things. It was like
Right.
that seemed almost impossible. So I just kind of, said, well, later on or, next lifetime or, I had some
Right.
sort of idea.
Yeah. So that was I said the same thing to you a couple of weeks ago. I said that
Yeah,
one day I'll come back to life. I'll conquer death. And you said, why not right now? And that's what you said. You said, why not now?
yeah, yeah,
And I guess yeah,
exactly.
sure,
Yeah,
you're,
do it now. Do it
yeah,
today.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd like to. One of the things here, I mean, for instance, it says here, once your mind is healed, it radiates health and thereby teaches healing. And what I like about that is, and it goes on. This establishes you as a teacher who teaches like me. So once your mind is healed, it doesn't go by. It can give hope for people. They think that if they're sick, they're no good, they're fighting the truth. They're sinning against the truth, and so they can't you can't teach. People say, I'm not learning from you. How can you teach? You're sick. It's like, it's like, how can you learn from somebody who is a part of themselves? Hey, you're divorced. You can't teach me about marriage. I said, once your mind is healed, it radiates health, and thereby teaches healing. This establishes you as a teacher who teaches like me. Not like, I mean, it's usually a high level teacher. But your mind has to be healed. And if your mind is healed, everything is healed. At that point, it won't make a difference what it looks like.
exactly. But you know what? A lot of times people, we do see teachers that we think are corrupt or, people that, they don't know what they're talking about. We
Mm-hmm.
have all these ideas, but, you can't corrupt the course no
No,
matter, no matter what you do. Um, it's always going to be the truth, and so you are a I don't know, womanizer, or I mean there's a lot of, that's a kind of a big deal in spiritual communities where it turns out that the leader or the
yeah,
leaders
you
have
think
been, abusing people, women, or anybody in their groups, or taking their money, or all the
yeah,
different things that big time teachers uh get, we see them doing. um, but no matter how, what they do, they can't corrupt the truth of the course. And if they just teach straight up the course, then it doesn't really even matter what they do, because there's no person there to have a personal life.
right, exactly,
It's just an
exactly,
ego.
exactly, exactly. Just an ego, and the ego's not really even there. And I've always said too, it's easy to forgive people because yeah, I look at people like they're dogs. We're all dogs, and I don't mean that in sort of like we're all dogs. So but if you look at a dog, they'll do anything, everything and anything. If you see a person do, would be disgusted. Which the person out of their life. If they have to think the dogs do, it's typically they'll eat anything, they poop in the house, and the things they do, they'll bite people, they fight with the dogs, they don't listen at the time. And then, but the greatest thing in the world, we love dogs. We can't help them. They're not evil. No matter what they do, they can't be evil. Even if they go crazy and hurt kill somebody. So they're not evil. They're dogs, and they'll do something. Same thing with humans. And if you look at it that way, they're human. You can't hate them. You can't. They're not evil. They do things. They're stupid. It's that simple. We do stupid things. We do really dumb things. But we're human. We don't know any better. We think we do. And one of the things that we do think is that we think we're better than we are. We expect much more from the body than we're ever going to get. And the course says that we expect far too much from our body that it can give us. We expect to stay young forever, and we don't have that much control over the body, most of us. And then we shouldn't expect it. Body tend to get older. They just tend to get that's the nature of it. And then the only thing I've been doing my whole life, especially the last 20 years, but is the body's not really there. And now I've loosened my relationship up with the body, and the body is more like is, 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 is within me. It's more of a thought construct, a thought composite. that I'm producing in order to experience this 3D realm. And as a place to hide from God because they think He's trying to kill me. And it's that simple. And this, as crazy as that sounds, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. And this is the nature of the beast. And anything that comes from that, I have to accept as part of the
Yes.
theology. If I accept it, I'm good.
Yeah. And what's really funny, as you were just saying that, we think that sounds outrageous, that, we would be thinking God was trying to hurt us and running away and hiding. But isn't that what our religions have been teaching us for the
Yes,
last
exactly.
2,000 years?
Absolutely.
The churches teach us that.
I've said many times the Christian religion is a projection of the ego. It's written on paper where it says we killed God. We thought we killed God, but He came back to life, and now He's after us. Says you better follow me or burn in hell.
Yeah.
That's the whole religion, and that's exactly what we think we did. We put it on paper so we'd have the religion to teach us what we did, and we could see it right there on paper. Now everyone's following in that religion because they don't want to see it. They don't want to see how crazy that is. So they're in a religion that teaches them how wonderful that is.
Yeah, and they make up rules that are ridiculous, and they don't like the rules, but they made them up and they still believe that somebody else is enforcing them.
Exactly.
They made up the rules and they think God is enforcing their rules.
Exactly. And we do the same with everything. Capitalism, democracy, fascism, all that stuff we made up, and then we enslave ourselves to it. I mean, no one else made up no one else made up capitalism. We did. People did. We made it up, and now we enslave ourselves to it. Time, we did the same thing. We made it up, and now we enslave ourselves to it. Everything. We make it up, and then we enslave ourselves to it, and we blame everyone else for making it up at our expense. But we made it up. Humans.
Yeah.
And not only humans, but you had to blame your responsibility because you're the one. You're part of it, and you can't see it being part of it because you're part of the sonship. Even if you say I'm not a part of the sonship, it doesn't close down until everyone gets home.
Yep. 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 That's it. Oh my goodness.
And one of the things this is the one thing that makes me take one. So I read this and I thought, my goodness, if I can remember this, I'll be fine. If I can remember this, nothing can come out against me and hurt me. One line from the Antichrist, and it's this: Christ's enemy is nowhere. He can take no form in which he ever will be real. That's sum it up. How beautiful is that? Christ's enemy is nowhere. He can take no form in which he ever will be real.
Yeah.
Nowhere. His enemy is nowhere. He doesn't
Yeah.
say it's somewhere. Is nowhere. His enemy is nowhere. Is nowhere. Is no. No form. Not one itsy bitsy form. Can you have an enemy if Christ is leading the way? No enemies. You can believe you have enemies if you close your eyes and you're following the ego. You believe the whole world is your enemy, or you can believe that you can realize that there's no enemies anywhere, but a bunch of fake ones. There's all set right there. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where is this place? Where is this place where everybody has been? Where is this place? Where is this place where what is everywhere has been excluded? That may be very funny. I don't know what it is. Where is this place where everywhere has been excluded and been kept apart?
Yep. And
Where,
then Jesus laughs about that, through the whole course.
yeah,
He's laughing like, what do you really think is going on here? Do you
yeah,
really think that you
yeah,
could do this? Do you really think you could do
yeah.
this?
Exactly. How can you live outside of everywhere? That's basically what he's asking. Or the very first question he asks is sound like, almost like not scolding us, but almost like, what is an idol? Do you think you know? I guess that. Oh, he's about to make fun of us.
Mhm.
Do you think you know? No, I don't think I know. That's all. And then he gets into it. Idols are substitutes for reality. In some way, you believe they will complete your little self and let you walk in safety in a world perceived as dangerous, with forces massed against your confidence and peace of mind. That's one of the definitions. And that the idol is a false impression or a false belief, some form of antichrist, which constitutes a gap between the Christ and what you see. This is what I like this one right here. An idol is a wish made tangible and given form, and thus perceived as real and seen outside the mind. Isn't that awesome? I
That
mean,
is amazing. Yes.
that's the dream at night. That's exactly what we do at night. And no one realizes that's exactly what we do right now during the day. I mean, I still mentioned that to my daughter, and she's like, "What are you talking about? That's not what we do at night and dream, but we don't do it during the day." I'm like, "Yeah, we do." Idle is every moment is an idle wish made tangible and given form, and that's perceived as real and seen outside the mind.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. It just, it just is not my experience. And
No,
that's the
no.
difference is to come to a place where you actually are experiencing that this is a dream,
Oh, yeah, that's the
instead
key.
that it's just a projection of your outward projection of an inner condition, and
Yes,
that you are actually in control of what's happening in the dream. And that's another thing I was thinking about yesterday, because it came to my mind. I was thinking about my kids, my children, and I know you have kids and think about the same kind of thing. What if something happens to them? What if they get into some kind of danger? What if they're, I go through all these scenarios in my mind, of possibilities, if they're going out on New Year's Eve.
very
uh,
spiritual of us.
what was, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
visualize those things.
yeah. So then I had asked myself, and I said, is this the lesson that I need to learn? Is that I'm so afraid of the world, that I'm afraid that it's going to take away, these things that I love, that I think that it has the power to do this, that I think that, that the world has a power to rob me of these things I love, or to alter this thing I love, and I had to actually, look at, do I really think that that's a lesson that I need to learn? Well, if it's a lesson that I need to learn, Holy Spirit, help me learn this lesson now, so that I won't have to go through that later on, worrying and thinking what happened. That those things will never occur, because they're not a part of my dream.
That's part of your schooling, your lesson plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, it was a good conversation, Lynn. It really was. It's
Yes.
12:25. We have 5 minutes left. I'll play a song and then I'll be back to Mike. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Wayne. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love. I'm grateful for you, and I'm glad you're here with us now. So, yeah, play us a song and play us out.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. God bless everyone. I love you all. Thanks for coming by. And I'll be back Thursday with Len. We're streaming live as well. That might be a true recording, though, or it might not be. I'm not exactly sure. We're in a transition period right now. So for next week, when we have everything set up. But okay, so God bless everyone, and I will see you when I see you. Okay, peace.
I was following the eye, 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 was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red. the scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turn round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in summertime.
Okay, everybody, bye-bye. Love you.
Thank you so much, Rev Wayne. That was an amazing song. I love that song. You played that before. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Lynn and Rev Wayne. Thank you so much. And Audrey for yeah, Audrey's still here, isn't she? Yeah. Audrey. Yeah, she does the backdrop, right, Lynn?
No, that's something that came on Zoom. So I was able
Oh,
to, yeah, isn't it cool?
yeah, it's so cozy.
A new
She
feature.
could do it though. Yes, she could. Yeah, she could do it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks, you guys. Thank you, Wayne.
All
Thanks,
right.
Audrey.
Thank you, guys. Thank
She's laughing.
Bye. Oh, here
Everybody, I
comes
love you.
Bye.
Regis too. Bye. See you tonight. Bye.
Bye-bye.